And I was like, I felt like Chris Christopherson had a writer in his contract that said, you have to let people know that I fuck, all right? At least twice in this movie, there will be sounds of me fucking a lady real good, all right? Hello and welcome back to Good Bad or Bad Bad, the show where we watch terrible movies television too. My name is Brian Sholigo, the other host, Mr. Kyle Hinton. So yeah, this is the 83rd episode of Good Bad or Bad Bad. Kyle,
we watched a doozy.
That's not a doozy. This movie was boring.
This was
I hated this movie.
I kind of enjoyed it.
How dare you?
So we watched Lords of the Street.
Lords of the Street.
Also released under the name Jump Out Boys.
Jump Out Boys, which they mentioned in the movie.
Yes.
There's a line about
it. They name dropped the second movie title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that why they call you the Jump Out Boys?
Yeah, so that's on IMDb. It's listed as both or Jump Out Boys. I don't know.
I have no clue.
But you can find it as Jump Out Boys places too.
I think we picked this entirely from the cover alone because it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's got DMX and Chris Christopherson, kind of. This one was sent in by a fan in our mail, in our P.O. box, and we have a lot of our other movies here that we'll be going through at time that people have sent in. But this is the second one we've done that somebody has sent us. The first one was Satan's Little Helper. And yeah, this movie's boring.
In the Photoshop job they did on this cover is glorious.
It is glorious. Also, the picture on the back of Chris Christopherson, not from this movie.
This looks like a Polaroid movie.
It's a Polaroid, and there's 0% chance that was from this movie.
This is from the 80s. This had to have been.
And what he doesn't use a shotgun in this whole movie, does he? No.
He has a hand cannon.
Yeah, he has. They both have revolvers of some sort. Yeah, and it's like what? It's just a random Polaroid that they just of Chris Christopherson. It's like a home picture. Okay, cool, whatever. So Lords of the Street by Most Wanted Films. I don't even know what year. What year is
2008.
This? Okay, sure. Not rated. That just means they didn't pay to have it rated. There's nothing in it that's
well, like everything they describe about this is in a post-Katrina New Orleans.
Yeah, it is a post-Katrina New Orleans.
That's the setting of this film. And the entire I didn't really get a feeling of any of that, or even the fact that we're in New Orleans.
No, other than there's a guy with a Cajun accent at one point.
They did like one shot on Bourbon Street, and that was it.
Yeah. No, it could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. Other than, and they mention once, and they're in the swamp though at one point.
Oh yeah, they do the
bayou.
They do the bridge across Lake Pontchartrain.
Yeah, whatever. It's irrelevant. Other than they shot there. They shot in Louisiana because it's in they thank a bunch of Louisiana people at the end. So this is a Dan Garcia production. But it's directed by Mr. V, we find out. I don't know who that is. There's a credit for it in the film, though. But the cold open of this movie is a sweet, they're racing to a call. And we're introduced to Chris Christopherson and not DMX.
So
is this... Because that's DMX.
Yes, that's DMX.
So, yeah, the guy who's the main character of this movie is not on the cover.
Not even close. And Chris Christopherson has way more screen time than DMX. DMX is in this movie for all of about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it literally 5 minutes. And it's so funny because it's like DMX is not a bankable movie name, is he? Like what?
No.
Why? Okay, sure. I'm trying to even find...
The main guy's name, though, is Travis.
I gotta read this. His name's Travis Roundtree.
Yes.
But I guess the actor is maybe Amir Baraka.
I kept calling him Shaft the entire time.
Yeah. I think because it says starring. Listen to this: Chris Christopherson, DMX, Amir Baraka, and then Cain and Abel. Those are the last credited starring people. Just Cain and Abel. What?
What does that mean?
What is that? There's I don't know. Anyways, so I don't know the actor's name, but he's the main character. Him and Chris Christopherson are driving in this thing, and we get the best.
It is just it's so good.
Kyle, we need to shoot an interior of a car. How do we do it?
Well, obviously, what we need to do is get some Polaroid lenses.
Yeah.
All right, get some mount it to the roof of the car.
Perfect.
Maybe even get a trailer.
Yeah.
So
that way they don't have to drive. Yeah.
Exactly. That and just
it's a lot safer. Yeah.
No. What we're going to do is a green screen of them in a car, and we're going to be shaking the camera around while they're moving.
terrible green screen. It looks like a movie from the 1950s or whatever when they would drive, and like a Hitchcock film with like the background. It's so bad. It looks ridiculous.
And it happens so many times throughout the movie.
Yeah, it truly does. There's like 3 or 4 times, because one of the like weird, silly things is that our main character is like a crazy driver, and he truly is, flies all over the place like a fucking. I have so many problems with our main character, with our protagonists in this movie. They're truly terrible people.
Yes,
and they should not be cops.
No.
Audio is also already terrible.
Oh my god, the audio is so
throughout the movie.
There's a particular scene where they're interrogating somebody.
Yeah,
and the sound in the scene is louder than their dialogue.
Yeah.
And it's
the one where they're drowning the guy.
I told you, I don't know nothing, man. Now, come on, Elliot. You know that you know about every illegal aircraft coming in and out of the city.
Yeah, and all you hear is a waterfall. Yeah. You can literally only hear dripping, and it's like they're talking. I'm like, what am I supposed to be listening to? So they show up at this thing, and it's a guy in a car, and he's got a bomb strapped to his chest. And our main cop, Roundtree, walks up. He does the classic, like, hand his gun to a different cop and walk up to go talk to the prisoner, or the hostage, or not the hostage, whatever, the guy who's threatening to blow himself up. And he walks up, and the guy has a bomb on his chest in this car, and the bomb is literally a bunch of wires with a stopwatch duct taped to it. It looks amazing. And he's like freaking out. He's like, oh, and then he explodes, and our guy is fine.
Whoops.
Yeah, but he dies. It explodes.
My bad. It's kind of like which Lethal Weapon is it? Is it 4? Where they were just like, all right, we got to defuse this. We can't. All right, run. Well,
that's definitely, I think, Lethal Weapon is what they're going for with this movie, because it's sort of the buddy cop where they're like two different, like in the opening scene, they're talking about how as they're driving there, Chris Christopherson loves Willie Nelson.
Getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, and he loves Willie Nelson, and Roundtree, the other detective, loves Tupac.
Yeah. Travis, I don't want to die today. Told you about them comments. Willie Nelson loving bastard. Got one more time. Willie Nelson's a national treasure, greatest singer-songwriter of all time.
He's absolutely, and the way he does his job is very loose cannon on the edge.
Oh, it's not loose cannon on the edge. It's completely exploded cannon over the edge. This guy straight up executes people.
And Chris Christopherson no better.
No.
He just sits by and lets all of it happen. They literally should be arrested numerous times. He finally is at the end. That like eventually our main guy does actually get arrested for being the world's worst cop and just murdering everybody. But they just their solution in every scene in this movie is roll up to a location, go, hey, and then start shooting. Yes.
Yes. Every scene.
God,
every
so
scene in
this
movie is go from here, find out a piece of information, go to the next point, show up and be like,
murder.
Blank.
Just murder them.
Murder everybody. But also the shot when he lands on the ground is like this weird. I don't know if they tried to light it, like do extra light, like color grade it in post.
The camera is struggling through this entire movie.
So many shots are out of focus. So many shots are not lit like at all.
The gain is struggling to keep even the color in balance.
Yeah. Oh, this movie looks like garbage.
And there's so many times where they get into a situation where they need to bring in like interior lights.
Yeah.
And it can almost look reasonable at times, but then they can't. And the image just looks super compressed and flat and horrible.
Yeah, and now the copy you're seeing in the review is pulled straight from this DVD. So this is whatever the best quality that this DVD has to offer, and it's awful. It's so bad. We get a great opening song on the opening credits, and I was like, is this DMX? Because this song is terrible.
These boys around me don't shit, but you'll never get your young that they all rap
I honestly thought they would at least be like, hey, can we license one of your songs on the cheap or something like that? I don't think any of this stuff was in there.
If it is, it's a song. It's like a way lesser known DMX song. There's nothing I recognize.
Whenever he goes in a shooting spree, spoiler there, I was so badly wanting X gonna give it to you.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door and spread.
X gonna give it to. Yeah, that would have been the best, but we didn't. We don't get any of that. And I was like, oh come on, you're gonna get DMX and then not have X gonna give it to you while he's murdering people. You deserve to not have DMX in your movie. I'm sorry. So then we're introduced to this. We go to this prison after the credits, where these not a prison, a hospital. Or
yes.
Doctor's office.
Prisoners are being escorted.
They're like yearly checkup.
Yeah, yearly checkup to be like, hey, you're not entirely dying. So
yeah. So that, but they're going in, and I love. There's a shot where the prisoners are getting out, and one of the security guards rifle butts a guy, and because they didn't have a second angle of it or something, instead of cutting to another angle, they digitally zoom in. Like when I zoom in to us, like at certain points in the episode, they do that, but it looks terrible, like way worse because they're zoomed in, and it's like a weird jump cut that makes no sense. It's pretty great though. And I love this. So the prisoner, or one of the prison guards says,
"Damn law says we gotta give free medical care, or we have to pay through the ass and go to the same doctor." Messed up.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, guess what? You're not in prison. You get to go home at the end of the day. So that's the trade-off. If you want free medical care, you can go commit a crime and be in prison, dude.
Get 3 square meals a day.
Yeah.
You get a bed to sleep in,
like,
kind of.
That's allowed, you asshole. But yeah, it's fucking, oh God. And then, so then we see that there's these orderlies or nurses inside the hospital are meeting in a room pulling guns out of the bag. And I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's happening? So one of the prisoners is Santiago, I believe is his name.
Now, the word of advice, if you're going to have a situation where you're having crime people sneaking into a hospital, don't give them just a knife.
Yeah.
You're in a hospital, use a scalpel.
Yeah, you can just use a scalpel. But they have some guns as well. But so they start, this is all a big elaborate breakout because, and I mean elaborate.
Yes, incredibly.
It turns out though, because I was like, who the heck is this prisoner that, because so he kills a bunch of the guards, they start killing all the guards and our prisoners start escaping. There's a big shootout where a random prisoner gets shot.
I don't know who Santiago's crew is, but they are ride or die for this guy.
Yeah, well he's part of the cartel.
Yeah,
some cartel.
He's not like the top guy.
No. But
like he's got some backup.
He's got connections for sure. But I love that we're in this shootout and they're like shooting across and all the guards or prisoners are laying on the floor and somehow one of them like twitches up and gets shot and then falls back down.
5 times. It's hilarious.
I'm like, how did he?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. I was like, what is going on? And then so they all escape, and then there's a helicopter lands, and this is where I was like, who are these criminals?
Yes.
How did they commandeer? It's a giant like helicopter.
And how did this movie get the helicopter?
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty impressive. They definitely went out with the budget on this part. Oh, and there's some great when he kills that final guard. The one guy who's been who's not Santiago.
No,
he's just a guy.
Notable henchman. We'll just call him that.
Yeah. At one point, he kills the last security guard, who was the guy who's kind of been in shit talking and like being an asshole to all the prisoners. And he shoots him, and digital blood spatters on the camera,
and it looks horrible. They took a very small image and just blew it up. You can see every single pixel on that blood splatter.
So fucking.
They didn't take a blur tool to it.
Yeah. Oh, there's also I forgot to talk. There's the bullet cam slow-mo shot.
Yes, they're so good.
In this opening scene, one of them rounds a corner, shoots a guard, and you follow the bullet.
It's straight out of Ember Day.
Yeah, it is. You follow this digital bullet in slow-mo into the guy's chest. It's fucking amazing. And then also, so then when they run out to the helicopter, did you notice one of the guys is like holding an M16 or something and it has no magazine in it?
No.
One of the guys is running around with an M16 with no magazine in it. That's like awesome.
He could have one shot.
He could have one chambered, I guess. But yeah, it's like, okay. And then, so they all get away, and he gets Santiago gets away in the helicopter. So now that's what we're gonna kind of be following from here on out. Then we're introduced to Chris Christopherson again, who wakes up at home, really, really upset that his t-shirts that his shirts aren't in the right order.
You know I like my shirts in order. What's wrong with you?
Raymond, it's 6 in the morning.
I don't care. You know I like my things a certain way.
We find out he's kind of like OCD a little bit or something.
But he's so lazy.
Yeah, he's very lazy. And Chris Christopherson, the actor, is phoning this performance in.
He so is.
Oh my God.
You get me for 5 to 6 days.
Yeah.
That's what Chris Christopherson was like.
Yeah.
I will read whatever side you give me.
Yeah.
Anything beyond that, your problem.
And I will be drunk 90% of the time. There is a scene later where he's running through a warehouse where you cannot convince me that man is not stumbling, falling over drunk, trying to run. Or that's just what Chris Christopherson looks like when he runs.
The script. He's like, I get to bang my wife in this? He's like, okay.
All right. But we don't ever see the sex scenes. We just hear them.
No,
we just get to hear sex scenes.
That was the oh God. That had to have been that poor woman.
Yeah.
Raymond, pick up. I think I know what's going on.
Chris Christopherson, everybody. And I love, she's talking to her and she goes, oh, I let your son borrow one of your shirts because he had an interview with Capital One. And then we cut and see his son in the next shot and he's like 12 years old. Is there a different son? We only ever see the one, don't we?
We know there's 2 sons. They mentioned it later. By the way, is this when has the Game Boy?
Yeah, the one. That's the only one I remember seeing.
Every single Game Boy, he has multiple Game Boys. The first Game Boy he has is a 1989 Fat Boy.
Is it?
And it doesn't even have a game in it.
I did not notice that. Yeah, but he has a Game Boy in every scene. And I thought that was the only son I saw, so I figured that was who they were talking about. Is there another one that we see at some point?
I have no clue.
Maybe you're right that there's
mentioned.
Okay, maybe you're right. Because I thought that's who they were talking about. I was like, he is far too young to have a job at Capital One. He's like not even a teenager yet.
He's like the Doogie Howser of investment bankers.
Yeah. So then when he wakes up, he goes into the kitchen and what's his name? Roundtree is there hanging out. And the audio in this scene is
broke into his house.
Yeah, broke into his house. This audio in this scene is freaking
awful.
Terrible. It's just
so bad.
It just echoes so bad because there's like a mic in the corner of the room or something, and that is somehow picking up all of their audio. But it sounds awful.
Travis, thank God. Take him, please.
Can't wait to bring him back to you.
No rush, really.
We'll see Bill that way tonight. I'll be late.
Or
and they're arguing about who has saved each other more because they save each other's lives at different times or something.
You should be much happier to see the man that saved your life.
Well, you saved my life about 4 more times and we'll be even.
No, 3. 3 more times. I keep count.
The gun was jammed.
Yeah,
that
man, doesn't count. You shot that guy that was going to shoot me, but yeah, the gun jammed. So like, does it even matter? Like, okay, whatever. I don't. They're trying to make us like these characters, and I will never like these characters. never. And then we get more green screen car shots with the guy driving like a straight psychopath. And when we eventually find out that it was part of a Mexican drug lord, Santiago, who escaped from the prison. And this is where we're talking to the captain, the female captain, and her performance in this movie is very good. She kind of yells a lot of her lines, and I love. She has a great "go to hell" line in this one. Go to hell.
You don't speak Spanish? You go back to school, Cap. Better yourself.
go to hell.
A certain point where she's talking to Travis. And she's yelling all of her lines, and he's whispering all of his.
Yeah.
And the difference between the sound levels is so jacked up.
Tonight's my survivor night, and I am stuck here shoveling your shit. Now you got 6 seconds to give me what I want.
It's gonna take a little bit longer than that.
Where is the girl?
I don't know.
Where's the money?
I don't know.
Damn it, Roundtree. You're about as useless as a dick on a pope.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we get a little light police brutality played for laughs. They're just joking about how they're beating up people in custody.
How could I forget? We took him in the alleyway and beat his ass. Broke 2 of his ribs. Oops. As he resisted arrest, of course.
Jesus Christ. And then the Roundtree's truly the worst because then he like fucking hits on his superior officer in the weirdest way. He's like, what the fuck? God, you guys are awful. You're the worst people. And then we find out Chris Christopherson is a germaphobe. It's not important. It does not matter at all.
I think
is he in real life?
What I think happened is when he was in New Orleans for this, he went to like a doctor to check out something, and the doctor's like, all right, I can't confirm anything right now, but he's waiting for these test results the whole time, and he's like, all right, I got to be super careful the whole time. Can we write this into the script that I'm just
that he has an entire like gallon and a half of Purell next to his bathroom sink that he uses with water like a psychopath. You don't use hand sanitizer with water, man. I've never. Do you use hand sanitizer with water? No, you put hand sanitizer on, you rub it, and then you're good. That's how it works.
It's alcohol.
Yeah, he puts hand sanitizer on, rubs it in, and then washes it off in the water. I'm like, what are you doing?
I guarantee you, like, it had him in behind the scenes where he was like, I need to use this stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
So if we can write it into the script, that would be great.
Because it doesn't matter. It means like nothing comes of it. You would think like there would be some moment in the movie where something.
You can even use a MacGyver situation because you can use the Purell as an accelerant
or something.
Fire.
Yeah, that's one idea. Do that with it. Have him it come up where he gets out of a situation by using the alcohol as he lights. Who knows? Whatever. MacGyver or something, or he gets to a point where he has to do something gross. You know what I mean? Like to save his partner, he has to like.
Chris Christopherson climb through 500 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
I could imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that, but they don't do anything with it. He just is okay. Cool.
And then Chris Christopherson refers to Tupac as Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac.
Unlike that Tupac trash talk you listen to. Are you trying to sell my music?
Yeah, throughout the movie, because he keeps wanting to get Roundtree really wants to, Christopherson to listen to Tupac, and he won't because he only wants to listen to Willie Nelson.
You guys can't. I can't be a separate me in this own world.
Yeah, can't DMX exist in this universe? Can't he be a fan of DMX?
And like once again, you have DMX.
Yeah,
use his music.
Yeah.
You use Ice Cube stuff in Anaconda.
Yeah, they don't use it at all. And to be fair, they kind of have DMX. I don't know if we've talked about it yet. He's in 5 minutes of this movie and does literally nothing. He plays, he's a Boondock Saint. He's like the long lost Boondock Saint brother in this movie. That's all he does is say Bible verses and shoot people now and then.
The wicked flee when no man pursueth. But the righteous are as bold as a lion.
Hey, Vato, what's up with you, man?
So they kill the helicopter. Gangsters kill the helicopter pilot in a pretty great scene. He's just like,
where's my money?
And then they waterboard that guy. Our heroes waterboard a guy, which is great. They drown
and this is the scene that's unbelievably loud.
Unbelievably loud. All you can hear is the dripping water.
We give out big time to people who know about big things and try to keep them a secret.
And then this guy tells him that he sold them helicopter fuel, and he tells them about some storage shed or something. Mm-hmm. So they go to this storage shed. And
they go there, and this is insane.
This is when I was like, "What is happening?"
I was like, "I'm done with these guys."
Yeah, they're not heroes in this movie.
They just find a guy who's
works at this. He works at this. Yeah,
maybe he's on the payroll, Santiago payroll.
But they don't know. No, they have no idea. He could have no idea.
They grab the guy, take him over to the dock
because he tells them. He goes, "Oh, this storage locker. I don't know anything about it. I don't know who's in there. I can't open it. There's not. I don't know." He's like, "I don't know, man." And yeah, they grab him, take him over to the railing on a pier,
stick one bullet into the revolver they have, and Russian roulette him.
Yeah, puts the gun into his mouth.
Yes.
And makes him suck on the barrel, and then starts clicking the chamber. And I was. What is happening? This is our protagonist. And now, here's what I thought. I mean, it's already horrible anyways. What I thought was going to happen.
That it's a dummy round.
Or no, that he like sleight of handed it, made it look like he put a bullet in, but then because that's what you would do in that scene.
Yes.
As they're walking away, he'd pull it up and show that it was empty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he goes, and then laugh.
No. As they're walking away, fires a live round.
Fires a live round into the ground, and it was the next one. And I'm like, so did you just get lucky that you didn't murder a random person? What is going on? How are you our heroes in this movie?
These guys are literally become later in the movie an internal affairs nightmare.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it should be. They should both be in jail for a very long time at the end of this movie. But of course they're not.
Make me a believer here, Roundtree. Make me a believer. I mean, you take this drunken joyride down in the city. flipping over cars, killing 2 men in cold blood. Make me believe we're here.
So they're talking after this, and they're driving away from this, and they're having a little chat in the car. And I love Chris Christopherson says he's talking about his time in Vietnam.
Yes.
This is
like, what are you talking about, old man?
Well, my favorite thing about this is he goes,
I did some things over there in Nam. I was just a kid, didn't know any better.
dude, you're still doing fucked up things. You're not a kid anymore. You guys almost murdered everybody you talk to. You just shoot or beat up and for no reason.
It's probably the same thing minus Agent Orange.
Yeah, literally, I was like, you're still doing this. What's happening? You guys were fake drowning a guy and then playing Russian roulette with another guy, neither of whom had done anything wrong as far as you know.
No, because the one dude they were drowning literally he works at the airport
and sold fuel to some people.
Still works at he's even their informant.
Yeah,
he's on their side.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what's going on? So fucking weird. It's like the worst protagonist writing I've ever seen. It's like,
you have to save the cat eventually.
Yeah.
And they don't.
No, they don't.
The closest they come is rescuing the girl, but that's...
Yeah, but like, that's because he wants to fuck her. Like,
there's some ulterior motive.
Yeah. Oh, God. And then we finally get to see DMX in the movie for the first time. And it's just one scene of him like loading a gun, saying Bible verses, and then the scene
That's
ends.
his whole character. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
I'm a hitman, and I recite Bible verses.
Yep. They're like, hey, guys, you know what movies are great? Pulp Fiction and Boondock Saints. Let's just do that.
Do you think they tried to do like a test screening with him, and it didn't work so well, and they're just like... Can you just like do Bible verses instead of act?
Yeah, they didn't want him to act. He has like one line that's not a Bible verse at the very end of the movie when he's like,
"You reap what you sow. An eye for an eye."
That's for my sister or something or whatever. Like, because his little sister gets killed, and it's
Which I was expecting to be the chick who was hiding the money.
Oh yeah, no, she's dead.
That would have been smart.
No,
but
well. So that we get the name drop that they're the Jump Out Boys, and I don't understand what that means. What does that mean? They're detectives. She goes.
Well, get on it. Go detect something. Isn't that why they call you the Jump Out Boys?
What does that mean?
What?
What is that? What? Okay, sure.
I mean, sure. Somebody might know what it means.
They jump out.
We don't.
They jump out on the streets. Is that what that means?
Yeah. Somebody just tell us in the comments.
And then he goes home and gets berated by his Asian neighbor for being single, which is a weird thing that happens in this movie. And then he has the world's saddest apartment.
Yes, it's so sad.
He walks in. My favorite thing about this apartment, he walks in, he puts his frozen meals in the freezer, and then he walks into his living room, and he has an entertainment center with no TV in it.
And against a blank wall.
Yeah, and it has a statue of a duck on top that everybody's grandpa had. That you know those like statues of like ducks in flight that every grandpa ever has had on their shelf or their mantle at some point. For some reason, this 28-year-old police detective has one of those on his entertainment center. It's the strangest thing. I think it's probably because they filmed all this stuff at like their grandma and grandpa's houses or something, like at their apartments, a retirement home, because
whatever it is, like the walls look like either a school building.
Yeah,
like it's nothing but cement walls.
Yeah, it's very sad apartment. Yes. It's very sad. And a picture of his dead or previous girlfriend or his mom. I don't know who that is, and we never know. No. We never get to know who that is.
Doesn't he like play like weird music and stuff? And
I don't remember that,
because it sounded very like almost like Twisted Pair, Neil Breen Twisted Pair theme.
Really?
Yeah.
So then he goes to this mysterious shadowy man at a bar. And this is where we're introduced. I don't even know this character's name. I don't know if we get a name.
I just called him Blind Dude.
Yeah, he's the blind drug dealer who is like kind of an informant, maybe not really.
Oh, wait. A mole?
Yeah.
But he's a drug dealer, but he doesn't kill innocent people. His performance is way over the top and fantastic, and he's doing like a vaguely Cajun accent, I think, kind of thing. I don't know. It's an interesting.
When I heard that newscast, I figured you'd be coming around here sometime soon. Savages, just savages, killing those sheriff deputies.
Very interesting. But then we find out that so there's this. All of the plot is so loosely explained that by the end, I think I understood what was going on, but I felt like I didn't. I only got there by just slowly piecing it together and not like the movie ever explained what was happening properly.
No,
like,
and
I feel like I context clued it out.
What benefits this film from their side is that it's an incredibly easy story.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unbelievably simple.
Drug cartel guy, Santiago, owes a bunch of money to somebody higher up in the cartel or a different cartel. I think just higher up in his cartel.
His girlfriend hit it.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to find her so he can get it.
And they say that's why he wasn't killed in jail, because they would have just had him whacked in jail. The cartel would have. But he's the only one who knew where this money was, like $15 million or something. And so they needed to break him out so that he could get the money to pay the cartel back.
Which I think it's kind of weird that they're like, hey, we would have killed you. But instead, since we need you, here's a couple of guys with guns.
Yeah. I also don't understand, because they said they also assumed that his girlfriend knew, which she does. I don't understand why they needed him out of prison and why they didn't just go get the girlfriend. Because they do go get her eventually. Why does he need to be out of prison? I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't make any sense to me. But sure.
Because you got to have somebody to shoot in the end.
Yeah. And then we get the world's sexiest sex scene of Chris Christopherson and this woman making sex noises while we stare at a dirty answering machine.
God.
For 5
this whole
minutes.
time I was like, why am I listening to this?
Oh, yeah, Chris Christopherson.
And then the number of times we watch Chris Christopherson shirtless at the age of 73.
No, we never see him shirtless.
We see him.
We see a guy who looks exactly like.
No, there is a point where he's staring in the mirror.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But there is also a guy that looks
There's Bizarro
exactly,
Chris Christopherson on the Bayou boat who looks exactly like him. Who I was like, they hired that guy 100% as a stunt double.
Yes.
As a
he's
double.
A stand-in.
As a stand-in for Chris Christopherson, and then they ended up just using him as another character. And I was like, because that is he's.
And I've worked on movies where they've done that constantly.
Yeah. It's like 100%. That's what this was. But I don't understand how the detective Roundtree puts together who this girl is. He goes to that one place, shoots a guy, just shows up, shoots a guy, goes through his pockets, finds a picture of a girl, and goes, oh shit. And I thought it was like his girlfriend or something, but no, this is Santiago's girlfriend, and he shows up at her. Yeah, not yet. He shows up at her hotel room somehow.
He just knows.
I was like, how did you? What? You just found a picture of her? What? Maybe it had a hotel room on the back. I don't.
He's just that damn good.
That damn talented. Yeah, it makes no fucking sense. But it's apparently Santiago's girlfriend.
In a really creepy way. He's like, hey,
listen, I don't know what you've been through the past few days, but you got to believe me. If you change your mind, I'll be sitting right outside.
It's all right. I'm going to go sleep in my car.
Yeah. Outside of your hotel room.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah. And then she eventually trusts him and decides to go with him.
As long as he gets her food first.
And then we get a great scene of Chris Christopherson and the captain eating in a park with I was like, where? Because they say something about how this is like the best place in town to eat, but they're just in the middle of
a
park with food trays. I'm like, where are they eating? What is going? It's so weird.
Food truck.
Yeah, maybe a food truck or a little hot dog stand. I don't know. It's very strange.
Somehow food trucks have made a massive comeback.
Yeah. Then we get more via or just audio of Chris Christopherson fucking. For no reason.
No reason.
And I was like, I felt like Chris Christopherson had a writer in his contract that said, you have to let people know that I fuck, all right? At least twice in this movie, there will be sounds of me fucking a lady real good, all right? Like, it's so weird because it doesn't... This one does nothing. Yeah. Neither of them do. It's just he's fucking somebody. Okay, cool, great. This is where the movie started wearing on me and I was not enjoying it. It's a little... Because we get a lot of, like, this is where the
Roundtree and the girl like chit chat about their past for like 10 minutes, and I don't care about any of them. Roundtree's a fucking psychopath. I don't want him to end up with this girl. I want him to go to jail. Like I
think what made me more lenient towards this movie was the fact that it's incredibly simple and I didn't have to think because I'm dumb.
Yeah, you don't have to think. That's true. It's very simple, but it's also fucking boring.
Unlike Billy Owens, where they somehow made the simplest thing and screwed it up.
Yeah,
this is at least gets you to point A to B.
Yeah,
regardless of how incredibly dumb they.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing that doesn't help. It's just so boring to look at. Nothing in this movie is interestingly shot. There's some like silhouettes and stuff at times, but like mostly it's just bad digital. It's like the lowest step up from like Alex Maisonette. Like there's somebody on this crew knew somewhat about lighting and shot composition, like a little bit more than whoever shoots Alex Maisonette movies, but not much.
And it's incredibly limited to the level of lighting they have.
Yeah,
because if it's in that sweet spot. Awesome. Anything more than that, the gain on that camera is having a stroke. It's the chroma noise on some of these shots. It looks like you shot it through stained glass.
Yeah, it's real bad. It's real bad.
Now you might want to protect her because she's some kind of little sex kitten. She is no rookie to murder and crime. You're messing with dangerous shit here.
I don't understand. Oh, I want a couple of things I don't understand. One, the set decoration in this movie is the weirdest thing. We go to the swamp. We talked about his apartment already.
Yes.
We go to the swamp in this scene, and this is where Santiago's hiding out in the swamp or whatever. And he's talking to a guy, and they're in this like shack in the swamp. And I don't know what this is. Behind them on the wall, there's just a little picture of a chef. It's the weirdest thing for like a gangster to have.
Now this is the point where they have.
I don't get it.
And the guy who's amply named Black.
That's coming up in a few minutes. But this is the first time we're at the swamp. That's when we're at the second time we're at the swamp. Okay. But yeah, this is a scene where there's two random guys tied up in a chair and he shoots them and we don't know who they are or whatever. But anyways, there's on the wall, there's just this little tiny framed like painting of a guy in a chef suit and hat. And I was like, why is that there? It's so weird. It's such a weird.
This film is fantastic.
And they're like having this like serious gangster argument, and all I could do was stare at this stupid little chef painting. And then also the Asian neighbor really involved and really wants Roundtree to fuck this woman. Yes. And I don't know why. I don't know. Okay.
Commenting.
Full chest, hips. Good for babies, huh? Boys, I think. Maybe 4 children, huh?
Yeah, she's got great hips, great childbearing hips. Oh God, okay. Another thing I don't understand about this movie: why does the jazz club dude, the mole guy, the Cajun blind guy, why does he want Santiago killed? Because he wants DMX to kill him.
Yes,
but I don't know why.
Because he, yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea.
There's no reason.
The detectives are going after him because
the only thing you can think of is that he may have killed somebody in prison.
Yeah,
but that wasn't established.
Yeah, unless maybe those guys he shoots in that one scene or work for. That first scene, maybe they work for the blind guy. I don't know. I could not figure out why he wanted to kill him, but I was like, whatever. It doesn't really matter.
And then the blind guy also has like a gun on hand.
Yeah,
it's like you probably shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Using that.
Also, this movie could be titled "Out of Focus Close-Ups: The Film" because we get so many. One in particular, this scene where Roundtree and the lady are in his apartment talking over like whiskey. Her shot is completely out of focus the entire time, and I was like, okay, great. And then I don't understand this. This scene's happening, and then we randomly cut to the blind guy. And we hear like a gunshot or something, and he goes, and Black, the guy named Black, falls out of the frame.
Yeah.
And the blind guy goes,
"Who the fuck is that?
Who's there?" And then we cut away.
And that's it.
And I was like, what just happened? There's no setup for it. Now, eventually we find out it was Santiago's guys kidnapping them, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just spliced into the middle of, and it's like
4 seconds long.
This is the kind of situation, because he's blind, that you would have him knock off the first dude, and then it comes into frame, and it's somebody with a Santiago's Gang tattoo. There you go.
So many little things that would have made this movie so much better. Like not making it, but because holy fuck, this movie sucks. They cut Black's balls off.
Yes. Well, they hang him up first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they just hang that dude?
Oh yeah, because you see his feet fall into frame, and I'm like, holy shit. No, but they hang him by his hands, and then they're trying to get information out of him, and he won't talk, and so he goes cut his balls off. And my favorite thing about this scene, apart from the castration, is that he does it with this like mall ninja like knife. He pulls out this huge knife out of this sheath that has like holes cut in it, and it looks ridiculous.
That's exactly the kind of knife you would see at the mall pop-up shop.
Yeah, a pop-up shop in the mall, or at a Ren Fair, or like a Comic-Con where they're selling swords. It's just like a random giant like Conan the Barbarian knife thing.
I need a large knife that's completely impractical.
Yeah, and just that is completely impractical, but just is like badass, I guess. It's so fucking stupid. Oh man. So then I don't know how Chris Christopherson shows up here, but he shows up at a warehouse where a shootout takes place. And this is a scene I was talking about where he's stumbling through this warehouse. And I don't know if that's just how Chris Christopherson runs, or if that's...
He calls up Travis and is like, hey, there's this thing going down.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going in. Wait for backup.
Nah.
Chris Christopherson.
I'm an 80-year-old drunk man.
Goes
I got
in,
this.
sees illegal activity going down. What's his first reaction? Start killing people.
Pulls out his gun and starts shooting at everybody. I'm like, what are you? There's like 8 dudes here. You're by yourself. Just leave. Okay, great. And he gets shot.
Yeah,
he gets shot. And the blood spurt when he gets shot is like this pink little.
I almost wanted to scream the Boondock Saints line.
Fucking sex shooter. It's 9 bodies, genius. What the fuck were you gonna do? Laugh the last 3 to death? Funny man.
Oh my god, I don't know what his idea, what he thinks he was going to do in that scene, other than drunkenly stumble from cover to cover, but which he does beautifully. And then his partner shows up to save the day and saves him, pulls him out. And I love, as they're running out, as they're getting shot at, the cavalry shows up, and our Roundtree pulls his gun on them, and they clearly have their sirens going and everything, and he's like, and I'm like,
you are unstable.
You can hear the sirens and see the lights. What are you doing? Okay.
Like, they weren't even this bad in The Departed when they were literally flipping off cops undercover.
It's so bad. So the girl decides that she's got to get the money, and she bails on Roundtree to go pick up the money, so that she can give the money back to them, and then it'll be square and she can be out of it or whatever. And I was hoping, and this is finally where DMX does something.
Yes,
he finally kills a couple people. He shows up, spouts some Bible verses, and then shoots off camera.
He's silhouette.
Yeah,
on a black background.
Yeah. It's just like a ring light.
He's just shot, lit from the back, and just pulls out guns and randomly starts shooting people.
Yeah, he's just like bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, I don't know who he was shooting or why, but sure. Okay, cool. He just said some Bible verses at him. And then they go to the hospital, and I gotta talk about the hospital waiting room, because again, the production design on this movie, I didn't even realize it was the hospital waiting room at first until we went back to it a second time, and I heard like the hospital sound effects that were going on.
Come down to the precinct voluntarily for the briefing. I want to be at this all night. Fuck you.
You might not have realized it was a hospital waiting room.
It was a waiting room.
Because they go to this thing, and it's Roundtree talking to another cop in this room. Yeah. And I was like, where are they at? Because there's all of the furniture is wicker. There's a wicker cabinet on the wall. There's a wicker couch and a wicker chair. And I was like, where the fuck are they?
I thought they were at like I thought
they were my grandma's fucking living room.
Well, I thought they were at somebody's home.
Yeah, well, they are, but it's the hospital, because you hear the sounds and they're talking about Chris Christopherson. What? That is a hospital waiting room, but it is absolutely somebody's living room. And there's like a weird giant vase of flowers that they couldn't be bothered to move out of the shot. And why? There's a wicker cabinet. It's so fucking. It's like, man.
You had to have a better set that you could use for a hospital waiting room than that. But that is absolutely...
Even Neil Breen has the foresight to at least use a curtain to quarter off a fourth of his living room for this.
Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it looks so bad. And then, so the captain tells him to go find some more leads or something. And she's like,
but you are the best damn detective we have on this force.
You're the best damn detective we have on this force. I was like, that cannot possibly be true.
Yeah.
So then we find out that Santiago killed DMX's little sister and he murders another guy. And I love he monologues in front of a car before he shoots this guy forever. And my favorite thing is he's like telling the guy to go tell Santiago something. And then he gets to the end of his speech and kills him.
Like, oh, okay.
How about you tell your boss to bring my little...
Well, that didn't do much. Okay, great. And that's, we find out it was his little sister that was killed. And he goes, because he goes Inigo Montoya on him. He goes,
man, you know I can get you things. Women, drugs, guns.
Anything I want, huh?
Whatever you want.
Anything I want.
I can get you anything you want. I can get you guns, women, drugs. And he goes, you can get me anything I want? He goes, yeah, anything. And he goes, you know what I want? I want my father to kiss a bitch. He does! He does it! He goes,
I want my little sister back.
I want my little sister back, you son of a bitch. And then he shoots him. I was like, well, fucking Inigo Montoya on him. Fantastic. Also, whoever did you see this comment? We got a comment that says, you're the Princess Bride?
That's a fantastic
movie. What are
movie.
you on? I favorited it because I was like, I don't even understand what kind of...
Sure, it was the last good movie that Rob Reiner did. But
I don't even understand what universe this person is existing in that they think we should talk about the Princess Bride, but I love it. I was like, okay, all right. I did talk about it on my podcast, This Film Was Lit, if you want to hear about it there. Because it's based on a book. Chris Christopherson's wife monologues to his body laying in the hospital and tells him she's pregnant. She also tells him he's getting too old for this shit.
Damn you, Raymond. At your age.
She's like, you're getting too old for this shit.
Well, apparently this isn't the first time he's been shot.
No. Well, which doesn't surprise me considering the solution for everything is to run and shoot it at everybody. So of course he's been shot a few times. And then I gotta talk about this bar scene because I need you to try to explain to me what happens here. The guy goes to the bar. Roundtree's at the bar.
Yes.
He's having a few drinks. And he gets a drink. And then he turns around and sees a lady with her son eating dinner. And the kid doesn't want to eat his vegetables. And the mom goes,
you know what we'll do? I'm going to take you to Swenson's and get some mint chocolate ice cream. How does that sound?
Well, let's go get some ice cream. And then our guy turns back around and is like, no more drinking for me. And walks out of the bar. And I'm like, what? My thought was, okay, did that actually happen? Or was he having like a memory? Was that like him and his mom?
Well, and what relation does that have to anything?
I don't know, Kyle. That's why I was asking.
Kids, eat your vegetables. No, we're going to go get you ice cream instead. Also,
you're right. I should stop drinking.
Somehow that turns into maybe I shouldn't get drunk.
Yeah, but he's already drunk. And then our cop goes and drives drunkenly down the street
and nearly kills while he's being chased.
Not nearly, he absolutely killed. Oh yeah, with his car. Yeah. But so as he goes out, he is saved by being drunk though, because he drunkenly drops his keys and bends over, and the guy misses him with the gunshot at that moment. But he shoots back at these guys and then drives away.
And this is where the rest of the budget for the movie went.
Yeah, exactly. We get a pretty cool car flip on the main street or whatever.
Shit.
Oh. No! So yeah, this is definitely where the rest of the budget went. They're driving down Main Street, chasing these people, and they hit a car, and their car flips.
It flips, and it looks relatively
good. Yeah, and it's a pretty cool shot where they set up the camera and it slides up to the camera, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it's like the only exciting thing that happens in the whole fucking movie. But the guy crawls out. Whoever was trying to kill him, they crawl out in the middle of the street,
and he executes him.
Our protagonist walks up.
Our protagonist, police detective.
Yes, executes this man in cold blood in the middle of the street. I was like, what the fuck is going on? But he gets arrested for it, kind of. When I was like, wow.
Well, because it actually sparks an internal affairs.
Yeah.
Well, like, why haven't you been doing this earlier?
He's been murdering people left and right from the beginning, but okay. And then I
I also got to talk about this little scene when she goes to get the money. It's a little thing, but I love it. She goes to get the money from the convenience store she had it at or whatever.
The store looks exactly like whatever Korean-owned store in like New York City that you would see in like some late
bodega
2000s.
or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like that.
Yeah, but she walks in and there's ladies there like closing up. And I love this. She goes, I got to go get my bags from the back. And she goes, okay. And the lady goes.
And apparently this woman knows about the money.
Yeah, because she goes back there with one of the gangsters and they walk out and the gangster's carrying 2 bags and this lady who works at the store is carrying 2. And she walks up and she hands them to the criminal. And I thought they were going to kill her. So like, no. But my favorite thing, not only do they not kill her, one of the gangsters turns to her and goes,
thank you.
Thank you. And they walk out of the store. He thanks her. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
You could be a gangster with a heart of gold.
I agree. I'm just saying, it's so funny to me that in that moment he's like, thank you for carrying that. That was very kind of you. And then there's somebody, the cop who has him locked up is like, because of your incompetence, they're probably going to kill that girl.
Well, no shit.
Yeah. It's like finally somebody's calling him out for being a fucking idiot. Then
you think
DMX,
this guy looked at the script and he was just like, I gotta save this somehow.
I gotta come in and be like, we gotta arrest him and I gotta tell him he's an idiot.
We need a voice of reason somewhere in
somewhere. And then there's a sweet sniper scene where I assume DMX, but we don't see him because
X gave it to him.
X gave it to him with a sniper rifle, but it was just all pitch black, so we don't see it. It's just like you can't see anything in this scene. But then I assume it was him because he shoots somebody and then when immediately cuts and he's riding away on his motorcycle, and I was like, so I guess that was him? Yep. Okay, all right, cool. And then I have to talk about the end of this movie because it's
insane.
The end of this movie. This is the rush. This is holy shit. My book report is due tomorrow morning. Level of and then just like doing what they can. It's so like he's arrested in the police station. She's gotten taken by Santiago, and they're going to the airport to get on the plane with the money to take it to the cartel. Mm-hmm. And those, as far as we know, those things are not near each other. This airport and the police station. The captain walks in and goes, hey, we need your help. I don't know how she knows about any of this or how they know where any of these people are. But there may be a scene explaining it that I don't remember. But he goes, okay. She unlocks him.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That he's under an internal affairs investigation.
For executing a person.
For executing somebody in the street. And she's like, I trust you. Let me... She should be fired.
Yeah, they should all be fired. But so he gets in his car. And I don't know how he knows where to go, but he goes flooring out of the police station, and also all the other cops leave at like the same time. And then we cut back to the airport, and this has all been going on simultaneously. And at the airport, he pulls a gun on, is Chris Christopherson? No, Chris Christopherson's not there. He's in the hospital.
No, he got written out.
Yeah, he wrote himself out at the end of this movie. But he pulls a gun out and he kills the dude, the other sidekick gangster dude. He kills him, and then he's gonna kill her, I think. Yeah, he pulls out his gun, but then it runs out of bullets, which is weird, right? He shoots it, and then he's going to shoot her, and it clicks. And I assume he's out of bullets.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna like, I don't even know what's gonna happen, but he's reloading maybe or something, and right as he's gonna shoot her, out of nowhere,
Travis just like
tackles him.
Bolt just knocks him out.
And I have no idea how he got, because the way this is edited is that he left the police station while this was occurring, and
he
somehow
got there within a course of about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. I don't understand it. Oh, what would have been awesome if he would have hit him with his car, because that would at least made sense. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it's a little beyond their budget.
Yeah. But he's just at the airport. I do not understand how he got there. I don't understand how it's edited so poorly, and it just feels like they're like, we missed like half the shots we needed for this to make sense, so we're just gonna edit it together and say screw it, because that's where we're at now. But then he's about to get shot again. He ends up losing the fight or whatever.
He gets pushed down to the ground, and then Santiago gets up, gun ready to go.
Yeah. X gonna give it to you.
X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you.
DMX to the rescue.
X gon' give it to you. Shows up and shoots him. And he shoots him a bunch of times. And the last time he hits a gas tank that's sitting
just
near him.
Sets him on fire.
Sets him on fire, but I gotta talk about while the guy's on fire. It's a pretty good fire stunt. It looks okay. It looks actually pretty good. But there's one shot where while he's on fire, a like firework explodes, and I thought it was on him, and I'm like, what is that supposed to be? And then I watched it again. It is very clearly a CG like alpha channel layer of a firework exploding, because as the camera moves,
why?
I don't know. The guy's already on fire, Kyle. Why do you have a firework poof? I don't understand it at all. But it looks terrible because the camera moves and you can see the smoke and the fire from the firework CG thing moving with the camera. Why would you put that in there?
It's an easy category. There is flame explosion and then there is firework explosion. Those are very different things.
I cannot stress enough how much it makes no sense and looks terrible. And why would you put it over an already good stunt of a guy on fire? It looks great.
Look, this came out fantastic. Let's ruin it.
Yeah, I don't understand it. It's so weird. And then they make out on the tarmac as it's like a Die Hard 2 ending or whatever. Isn't that how Die Hard 2 ends?
Yeah,
where they're like,
the
they're on the tarmac and the police cars are driving up and it's like, woohoo, we win. And then we cut to the hospital. And also I don't understand what took all these cops so long, because they get there way after our boy gets there. And then we go back to the hospital to wrap all this up, and Chris Christopherson's alive. He's recovering, walking down the hallway, and they're all like regrouping for the big ending moment. And I love, he walks up and gives him a CD. Roundtree gives Christopherson a CD, and at first you think it's Tupac or something.
Yeah.
But he goes, actually, look at the CD.
Oh, Chris Christopherson, I love this guy.
Yeah. Willie Nelson's greatest hits. And I'm like, bro, you don't think he has that CD already? All he talks about is how much he loves Willie Nelson.
Maybe it's volume 2. I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Oh, great. And then there's at this very last moment, they're walking through around a corner, and Roundtree says something that I could not understand because the audio is so bad. I don't know what the fuck he said at all.
Hey, I heard your son got that job at the bank. I wonder if you can help a brother out. Bad credit.
How bad?
Real bad.
And then we get a cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, because it's some dude in a vehicle just watching them. I think it's the dude who was
it's the cartel other guy.
Yeah, who was telling Santiago,
you gotta get the money.
Your uncle's willing to forgive you if you get the money.
Yeah, he's like another member of the cartel or whatever. And he's sitting there watching him, and so we get sequel bait in this movie that 100% was never going to have a sequel. That's the world's most optimistic sequel bait I think I've ever seen. But yeah, the movie ends. And then I love this. I guess this is order of appearance, but we get the final credits, and Chris Christopherson's name doesn't show up until like page 3. And I was like,
I think it's because his name's Raymond, so
I don't think it's alphabetical. I think it's order of appearance, maybe, which it still seems weird because you would do like your big, usually in those movies, you get to the end credits, it's like the big names, like, oh, this, this.
DMX and Chris Christopherson, they're principal cast.
Yeah. So they should have like their own title card at the end, and then you go.
Their top billing.
Yeah, you should have like the rest of the cast alphabetically or order of appearance or whatever. But they don't do that. They just stick them in the middle. I was like, whatever. And there's one other credit I wanted to talk about because I don't know what it means. There's a guy credited, and he's in the same area as like I think like the editor and stuff, and it just says flame artist.
Maybe it was the fire dude.
That's what I was like. Is that what it's called when the people who set people on fire are they called flame artists?
And then he looked at the film. He's like, "You ruined it!
You ruined it! I am an artiste. I am a flame artiste, and you ruined it." Yeah. But that was all I had. I was like, flame artist. I don't know what the fuck that is, but. Kyle, this movie's bad in my opinion.
It's not a terrible watch. Like it's not a boring watch per se. As
not all of it.
Yeah, it's easy to follow.
Yeah, it's easy to follow. I got bored. I will say that I did get bored about halfway through. It's short. I mean, it is short. I'll give you that. It's like an hour and 15.
I hate to say this would be a nice background movie while you're doing something else.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, and it has some moments that are fun. But it's not.
No.
And again, so one cop, one hitman. Two cops, first off.
Yes.
One hitman who's not in the movie.
One deadly target.
Yeah.
they really screwed the main actor in this movie. He's not even mentioned. It's two cops. Whatever. Unless they're not talking about Chris Christopherson here with the one cop, they're talking about the other guy, because that would kind of make sense. But yeah, to me, I got a little bored with it at times. But other moments, but bad. It's not going into the Hall of Fame.
I think what happened with me is I hit that event horizon where something just got so boring that I started getting entertained by it.
No, fair enough. I was not. I just found it mostly boring. But that's it for this episode of Good Bad or Bad. As always, you can support us on Patreon if you like. We just released another AMA where we answered questions about all manner of things. Very interesting ones. Some very interesting questions. Like, what would you do, Kyle, if you could do any job for the rest of your life and be super good at it and famous for it? But you have to listen to that. You have to be subscribed, and then you can find out what that is.
You can find out my hopes and dreams.
There you go. And that's the $2 and up, get access to that. Also, you can buy our merch on tpublic.com and then just search for Good Bad or Bad. We have phone cases, we have t-shirts, we have all manner of things. Somebody bought a baby onesie. If you're the person, if you buy a baby onesie and you don't send us a picture of your fucking baby in our baby onesie, what's wrong with you? You absolutely have to.
It was a Good Bad or Bad baby onesie, or was it one of our faces?
It was a Good Bad or Bad baby onesie. I also think we've sold one quantum physics baby onesie as well.
I can understand that.
I think, if I remember correctly. But I don't know why we have. I've seen 0 baby onesie pictures. God damn it! I didn't think we would sell any of those. So you have to. I want to see a fucking baby in a goddamn Good Bad or Bad onesie, because that's something I never thought, something I created.
I will also accept a laptop case, because that's just kind of a weird one.
Yeah, we've seen some pictures and some coffee mugs. I have a podcast called This Film Is It, where I talk about movies that are based on books. When this episode is out, the episode that will be out or is about to come out is the final episode of our Lord of the Rings trilogy, where we're wrapping it up with Return to the King. If this is out, depending on when it's out, it might be the Cat in the Hat episode, which is out, which is a terrible movie, which could be fodder for this show, honestly. It's pretty fucking bad.
The film I've been working on for 4 years is not out yet.
It's still not out. Catching, interviewing Bigfoot monsters,
whatever it is,
and now. Tom Green is not out yet, with Les Stroud. But look for that in movie stores everywhere eventually in 10 years.
Yes.
And until next time, keep watching movies.
Just not Lord of the Streets or Jump Out Boys, whatever it wants to call itself.
Jump Out Boys, such a bad name. Such a bad name. Also, Powerade, sponsor us.
Yeah. Oh, what? It's like we did we color match this? What?
We planned this.
I got so much blue right now.
You could say you blew yourself.
Oh, it's got to be a better way to say that.